Yeah, we're at the Chongs now. Well, yeah, I know she's a fussy bitch. Yeah, well, you didn't work quick enough. Sorry, doll. You've had your second chance.
Mrs. Chong!
Yeah, pick up your pay packet in the morning.
Chong!
Oh, same to you, you little slag.
Did she say she was going away?
Oh, who cares? We'll get through it in half the time. Mrs. Chung, hello? Mrs. Chung, hello? Mrs. Chung? Jim? Jim!
Is she dead?
Well, she isn't breathing. Shut up. Get out of it.
Shouldn't we cover her up or something?
First things first. Call a TV station. Call 2. See who gets here first. It's not going to hurt being on the 6 o'clock news.
Thank you, Chief Bridesmaid.
Telephone. It's Detective Senior, someone, eh? If he's after me, I'm still having Queensland, eh?
Your virginity has now been restored. Oh no, Jane. Can't someone tell them she's not here?
Yes, Jim? Well, you won't believe it. It's the blessing of a marriage bed. No, not mine. Thanks for asking. Well, I'll have to rearrange some patients. What time do you want me there? That serves me right for asking. Okay. I'll see you soon.
We've got a number of crime scene elements here that, well, let's put it this way. I know there's a meaning, it's not making a lot of sense, and
You need a new perspective.
yeah, well, there was a roadside prostitute strangled in the area in June last year, but whether or not there's any connection...
Detective Detman, Eric Washburn. I'm afraid to have to tell you that this isn't a one-off event. I'm very much afraid that this man will strike again.
It's very interesting, Mr. Washburn, psychic investigator.
I'm only too pleased to give of my time.
Is there anything tangible you'd like to add?
In what sense, Detective? If you mean on the temporal plane, then my answer would be not yet. But my best work occurs outside the cocoon of the mind.
Well, I'll pass this on to my team. If you'll excuse us. Psychic number 107.
A decent racing tip amongst a lot of them.
Tell you one thing, your father knew how to pick 'em.
So he'd say.
First to the racetrack legal eagles, your dad. He was a very good punter.
He attempted penetration. There's a certain amount of bruising.
Thanks. Oh, what's interesting is the careful posing of the body. These marks?
On the ground, not sure.
But he hasn't posed her in order to degrade her.
That's true. Tom Hercos, Dr. Jane Halifax.
Hi. I was just saying before that my instinct is to rule out the prostitute murder last year. They're two completely different crimes.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
For a while, we ran with the 2 self-promoting turds who found her, but...
You know, Doctor, you wouldn't realise this, but we've been pushing to have these done for the last 3 days. Now, you're invited on board and they land on the desk just like that. You're what we'd call an asset.
Tom?
Well, would I be even more of an asset if I was to suggest that this isn't the first time our offender's killed? Not only does he manage to strangle her with minimal struggle, he drags her to a chair and he keeps his head while he sits her up and arranges her.
In exactly the way he wanted her to be found. Maybe he's just strong or determined. I bet you're going to tell us that his father didn't like him as a kid.
Perhaps he wasn't very likable. But he is likable enough for Mrs. Chung to let him into her home. So, an insurance salesman, tradesman, someone self-employed.
Oh, hurly-durly, Professor. Tradesman and salesman. Never occurred to us. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm expecting a call. Have news of inquiry.
The missing persons. 75-year-old lady missing from a nursing home, and a family in a new suburb near Applesea. 17-year-old daughter didn't come home last night.
Anything else?
She had money with her and a bag. Probable runaway.
Tell them to tell the parents the usual. Check friends, work, etc.
Mum just thought that you might have seen her.
It's in full. Get off the phone!
Frank! All right. I'm trying to help.
Use your brain. What if she's trying to ring us? You yapping on the phone to people she hardly knows?
I'm trying to help.
If Deb has run away, Frank, you want to have a very good think about it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Since the day she turned 13, you've done nothing but pick. Same with Mandy. I think it's a bloody wonder we haven't all run away. If anything's happened to her, Frank, I'm telling you right now, I will never forgive you.
Oh, I can still feel it here. It's like it's a fishbone cord or something.
There's nothing I can see. Best bet's get you in to see Jeffrey Davis.
Okay. But I keep thinking it'll go away. It's like, I think I won't be able to swallow. I have to consciously... And then I start to cough. Anyway, if it's a tumour, I really don't have the time.
More than likely, it's a small piece of foreign matter that's lodged there, something you initially didn't even register. What's the latest on the great Greek wedding saga?
Well, as of yesterday, Pauline's moved in with me.
They've split up?
No. No, the family's come down from Brisbane. Dear old grandma doesn't know they've been living together. All I know is that their firstborn better be a boy, preferably twins. And if I ever tell you I'm getting married, slap me. I don't care who it is. Single, I should have it tattooed on my forehead.
I can't imagine you ever getting married. I think you're pretty safe.
Well, good. Because all I see is a gradual suffocation. And Pauline's completely oblivious.
If it's her, tell her we love her and we want her to come home.
Hello?
Is that Mandy?
Yes?
I'm calling to tell you that Deborah's all right.
Who is this?
She needed to be taken care of, and that's what I'm...
Who is it? I mean, who are you?
And that's what I'm doing. You don't have to worry.
Well, where is she?
She's in very good hands.
Who is this?
You can trust me on that.
I don't know what to say.
But you had no more calls through the
He
night?
could be calling right now, for all we know. A phone tap? God's sake, you see it all the time.
Mr. Bailey, as I said,
I don't
it takes
believe
a few
this.
days. Look, in the
The
meantime...
local clowns are trying to tell me it was Deb getting a friend to call us. You're going to do sweet bugger all, aren't you? You don't give a shit.
She's gone AWOL, no question. Get away from him.
Okay, now this profile is for guidance only. I'm giving you possibilities, not hard facts. Our killer is not only organised, he's methodical. Removes evidence, wears shoes without any individual characteristics.
Which we know.
My point is he's not crazy, he knows exactly what he's doing. Now, he'll be of average or higher intelligence, working a job that he might consider beneath him. Most probably late 20s to early 30s, and someone who considers himself attractive to women, despite being sexually inadequate. Pre-crime stresses along the lines of a recent breakup with a wife or a girlfriend, or being sacked from a job.
That narrows it down to about 1 million blokes.
Now, you may have interviewed him already. He's got good social skills. He'll appear eager to help. His house will be neat. His car will be neat and clean.
What about the gold spray?
Page 2, I've flagged some possibilities,
The
but...
cuts to the ankles.
Well, they're extremely unusual, as are the markings in black felt tip.
Yeah, unusual.
Clearly, they're all an important part of his fantasy. Now, all of these acts will have a very important meaning to him, which we can only guess at this stage, but
You'll have a go, of course.
He's probably trying to recreate some event, to preserve someone from his past for whom he had early sexual feelings. Now, our big indicator here is that he tried to make his victim look nice.
Oh, it'd help if he killed someone else. Start to make a bit of sense, then we'd all know where we are.
Which is why, if I were you, I wouldn't dismiss this call to the...
Baileys.
Deborah Bailey may not be a runaway. It's the sort of call that this personality could make, wanting to sound reassuring. Now, he wants to be liked, but he also wants to be in control. Okay, that's me for the moment. Anyone got any questions?
I just woke up this morning with this feeling of dread, like she was being held somewhere.
See. For God's sake, what are you thinking of? You sick bastard. Get out of here before I throw you out.
Come on, let's go.
You're not going anywhere.
Well, you can't stop us, Dad, so don't even try.
Please!
Will you get out of my house?
When I contacted your wife, Mr. Bailey, I made her a commitment to lead you to your daughter, wherever that may take us.
Do you want me to come in with you? Don't tell Mum, okay? She hates smoking. Oh, God. What?
Find a phone, Mandy. Call the police. Deborah, I'm here. You're not alone now. I'm so sorry this has happened. If you're ready to go. Good, Deb. You're a very brave girl. And you're in safe hands. I'll do my best to guide you home.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, single file on the line, if you please.
Well, looks like we can call this a signature. And he's refined his technique. The gold hairspray used on Mrs. Chung obviously wasn't enough. This time it's gold paint.
Scuffle marks.
There's no violent struggle. He's just taken her off guard here, and it's more or less contained here. "17 and dead. Psychoanalyse that.
Please remember, crime scene details are completely confidential. No chats in a lift. Or the pub.
Or opening nights or dinner parties.
Are we talking about the phenomenon generally, or my particular talents?
The latter.
Then I have to ask you, at least imaginatively, if you're able, to make a rather hefty paradigm shift. Consider a power beyond most people's perception, which I've been given as a gift.
All right. How did you know the girl's body was in that house?
Here. I saw what was in my mind and what was in the conscious world meshed. I had a conviction and I trusted it. I had to. I knew it was the truth.
Interview suspended at 4:07 a.m. for purposes of making further inquiries, do you understand?
Oh, yes.
It's a complete waste of time.
Still, his alibi for Mrs. Chung checks out. But I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. He knew where the body was. That's a hell of a coincidence.
So do we let him go?
Not yet. Sweat him a bit longer and scare the shit out of him about crime scene confidentiality.
I'll tell him we'll rip out his third eye.
I'm sorry you were watching me in there, Dr. Halifax. I didn't acquit myself as well as I would have liked. Still, that's the police for you. Very different from Europe. There they welcome my assistance, even seek me out.
Excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
I should have stepped into your territory, taken them on a stroll down the Jungian path of dreams, if police have dreams.
I'm sure they do. Now, if you'll excuse me.
All we need to know of life is available to us now, this instant. Simply a matter of reading the clues. I'm rather like you, Dr. Halifax. I don't respond at all well when I've been treated with contempt.
Yeah, this way, Mr. Washburn.
Thanks for that. Done well.
Sylvie will drive you home now. Frank, all right? Yeah, that's him. And what have you got that's recent?
Okay, Lansdowne's MO, strangulation to loss of consciousness.
That's right.
Condom during rape.
Right.
Last victim, Anna Pindici, refused to give evidence at the last minute. Weren't you the investigating officer?
Yeah. No, you got anything on his language, verbal stuff?
Not much. But about 3 months ago, a mate from Pentridge got him work as a traveller. Paint and brush company.
Is that right? Let me have a look.
Oh, and his mother died earlier this year.
Yeah, heartbreak, most likely. Now, if anything else comes in, give me a buzz or get me on my mobile. It's just something of my own, okay?
Again.
Tell me again about Terry Lansdowne.
Has he hurt someone else?
I think so.
Well, the only way that I can describe it is the words he kept saying were like he kept trying to reassure me, telling me that everything was going to be all right all the time.
mate. Yeah, you haven't got the time, have you? Stuck up bitch.
So, do we wait for Boy Wonder?
I'd say Tom's been held up.
Okay. They're here, between the shoulder blades. Now we see what he was trying to do with the other victim.
Parallel lines.
Oh, the number 11.
Which could be a tally of some sort. The number of women he's raped or killed.
Or intends to kill.
Or he plays bingo, legs 11.
Could be a date.
Roman numerals?
Someone's birth date. Or a sign from the runes, for that matter.
Will all be runes, said Hanrahan. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Once again, cuts to the ankles. This time completely severing the Achilles tendons.
So they couldn't escape?
Definitely post-mortem. Also, this time there is evidence of duct tape across the nose and mouth.
Well, that'll be to speed up suffocation.
Tape marks on the wall as well. Stomach contents, blood alcohol.
Only thing she ingested that day was a protein drink, no food. Except there was a piece of peppermint caught in the lower esophagus.
Same as Mrs. Chung.
I think their breath would be the last thing you'd be worried about.
That's the best one. It's not really very good. She was just starting to get her weight down. Just starting to feel really good about herself.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't seem to be in many of these.
No, it's because she's the one that takes them. Or took them. She always used to say that she'd break and run.
And she never talked to you about a boyfriend or a boy that she liked?
No. Anyway, Dad was pretty strict about that. Not until you're 18. Another thing, you know, they weren't her high heels. High heels throw your back out. Mum's always said that. Dad would never ever buy a pair of high heels.
How's your mum holding up?
Sure, it was all Dad's fault.
Mandy, I have to ask you something really difficult. Do you mind? Was there ever anything between Deborah and your father?
No. Oh, God, no. Dad and Deb were really close, that's all. Who'd say a thing like that?
I'm sorry. It was something I had to ask. I know what you mean. I was pretty close to my dad, too. Yeah, bride, bridesmaid, mother-in-law and flower girl. No, hair and makeup for everyone. Yes. Yeah, Monday the 8th at 2 p.m. Just as I rang to confirm it. Thank you. See you there. If you're following me, I'd really like you to stop now.
I'm ahead of you, actually. Another woman will be found very soon, Dr. Halifax. You must accept my offer to assist.
It's the same here as in Europe, Mr. Washburn. If you have any information, you have a moral obligation to tell the police.
You're right to wonder about the shoes. The feet hold a lot of information. But you're way off track about how and why he left her the way he did. Posing, I believe you call it. It's all left brain at the moment. That's the basis of your problem, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, I do, actually.
Look at this. Eventually, we'll be colleagues, and what are we doing? Just dancing round and round each other. I talk to the other side, Dr. Halifax. My guides can work on your behalf right now.
I wish you'd asked them to show you the quickest way home.
So we'll continue this then, huh? You think a doctor will clear this blockage here, but you really would be wiser to look inward. Such a very useful thing you've given yourself. It's there to remind you. Our Deborah was sitting there as if she was waiting for something. How lonely she looked. Alone. Perhaps for all eternity. Never really knew what it was like to be loved.
So next time Lansdowne comes in, give me a call, okay?
What, and you'll come and collect his used franger?
Yeah, label it, put it in the fridge, and call me.
Yeah, well, like I said, he can't get it up most of the time, so you might be in for a bit of a wait.
You got any girlfriends on the
Oh,
street?
do you mind?
They stay clear of him, right? They don't get in a car with him. They keep right away.
Detective Sergeant Hercus.
Terry Lansdowne. What can I do for you?
You're following me.
Am I? Why would I want to be following you?
I just saw you come out of that knock shop.
Oh, just checking on their license, Terry. Why, were you in there?
Look, I'm straight now. All right? You got no right following me around.
You got something to tell me, Terry? Something you want to get off your chest? Because if you have got something to tell me, if you've done anything wrong, you can be sure of one thing.
Would you piss off?
Get you. You ever think about Anna Pindici?
I was cleared of that.
Oh, yeah, what a boost that would have been. You're acquitted, you think, oh, shit. The world's my oyster. I'm untouchable. I can do what I want now. All the really nasty things that I've only ever seen pictures of.
Would you piss off?
I saw Anna this morning. I don't mean to alarm you, Terry, but I decided right there and then that my life's work was to put you back inside for good.
This is intimidation.
Every time before you go to bed, Terry, the last thing you should think of is me. The first thing you think of when you wake up in the morning, because I know you're lying. I know what you've done.
Hello, Mandy speaking.
You did think Deborah looked beautiful, didn't you? I wanted you to see that she looked beautiful.
Why are you doing this to us? Please tell me why you're doing this. Shit!
Yeah, hang on. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I'll
He's
call you
of
back.
medium build with short hair. He's in his late 20s to early 30s. He despises women. He wears distinctive shoes. He may well take photographs of his victims' bodies. He's probably known to the police. I've been face to face with this killer in my mind, and let me tell you, he's growing in confidence daily. Despite my extensive experience with police in Europe, I've been constantly rejected by local authorities and thwarted in my attempts to bring this sad, sad story to an end.
No, please. It's very important.
Hey, Jane. Stop my feet! Ow! Jane.
Yep.
Down up to the fitting. How about we, Sorry.
How about we what?
Thanks for letting me stay. I better get going before the rallies wake up. Caught your yard going through the drawers the other day. I think she's figured out we've been living together. See ya.
Have dinner with Con's family. His dad wants to take us all out, you included, of course.
I'll have to wait and see. I won't know till the end of the day. Sorry.
Jane? Thanks from me too for everything. But if the bridesmaid bit gets too much...
Oh, no. No, honestly. It's great to have you here. You don't have to keep thanking me. It's fine, really.
He called the family again this morning. Public phone. We've got someone keeping an eye on it. Thanks.
More stunt like that, and we'll have you in for hindering. Hindering, for your information, in case you can't perceive it or divine it, carries a penalty of 6 months, and the prosecution would make sure you went down for the lot of it.
You need to make note of the music. Music will become very important.
I suppose that'd be celestial music, would it?
May I go? You did think she looked beautiful, didn't you? You did think she looked beautiful, didn't you?
It's Eric Washburn's voice.
You did think she looked beautiful, didn't you?
Okay, Mandy. Here's someone else. Yeah, different words. Huh?
Of course I'll chat up a beautiful girl. 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 Of course I'll chat up a beautiful girl.
Maybe a bit.
Of course I'll chat up a beautiful girl.
It sounds a bit like him,
Of
yeah.
course I'll chat up a beautiful girl. Of course I'll chat up a beautiful girl.
You're in for a very novel afternoon. It's called Working In With a Team. One more day missing in action, you're going to be back in uniform.
Remember the Fitzroy rapes? The occult marks carved into the victim's thighs. Our psychic friend?
Well, I mean, it's possible.
These cuts to the ankles, the gold paint ritual.
Look, this guy's cunning. It's all deliberate diversionary crap.
Well, I don't think that's true.
No, I know you don't. You still think the father's on the nose.
There is something very, very sus about him.
Yeah, well, his daughter's been killed. How do you expect him to behave?
Go on, Joan.
Look, a legitimate signature isn't something a killer orchestrates. Now, the cutting of the Achilles tendons are more deliberate in Deborah's case, so they're obviously a very important part of his fantasy. Now, if there's something to do with abandonment, we should remain alert for a recent relationship breakup. In fact, whoever this woman is could be our biggest clue. He could be combining that loss with some significant abandonment as a child.
Or he's trying to confuse us.
Look, this sort of signature is an integral part of his history. He may have been fostered out as a child.
He's trying to make us think he's weird. It's all a display. It's a put-on.
We all know what a stage scene looks like, Tom, and this isn't it. But you were right in saying that this second murder gives us a pattern. Now, we know he supplied Deborah's shoes. He guessed the size somehow. The heels indicate that he's taller than 5'10".
And if he's sexually inadequate, he won't allow his victim to be taller than him.
That's right. But the core question is why these women willingly went with him.
That is not the core question.
These women weren't dragged to their deaths and they weren't drugged. The bruising on both women's arms wasn't around the wrists or the forearms where you'd hold someone down. It was around the ring fingers. For whatever reason, they trusted him enough to hold hands with him. There is something our offender says or does that makes them want to trust him. Unless you think they were complete fools.
Oh, shit, the fitting.
Hi. Waited as long as we could. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. Where's mine?
Actually, I've got to get back to my kids. Can you come and see me tomorrow?
Tomorrow? I don't know.
Oh, Jane.
Well, it depends on what happens with the case. Look, how long does it take to try on a dress?
I'm sorry. Oh, well, at least you made it for dinner. Uncle Theo's picking up the bill. We can have a feast. No need to get changed. You're fine as you are. All you need is your earplugs.
Pauline, I've got a massive catch-up work to do. I'm sorry. Pauline, I'm stuffing up all over the place at the moment. If it's any consolation, you're getting exactly the same treatment I'm giving to everything else in my life, okay?
Detman is shitting himself, Tom. If this warrant starts to
A
leak...
reliable source has grounds to believe that an identical weapon to our murders is located on these premises. The source wishes to remain anonymous. So Detman can shit himself all he likes. So this slimy bastard is gone. Sweating, are you, Terry? He's ground the tread off.
Yeah, the room.
Assault, rape, murder. Well, a man's got to have an interest in something. Hey.
Must have left them on the stove. They're old, you know. I didn't know the stove was on.
You must have read about that somewhere, Mr. Lansdowne. Your shoes weren't burnt.
They were burnt. Accidentally.
You ground off the tread with a sander. Orbital, if I'm not mistaken. Now, on the days that Mrs. Chong and Deborah Bailey were murdered, your boss tells us from your order sheet.
Shit, what'd you have to talk to him for?
Well, maybe we should talk to him again. Maybe we didn't talk to him enough.
Listen, I don't want to lose my job. I'm just starting to do all right, you know. I didn't kill those women.
You're not doing all right, though, are you, Mr. Lansdowne? You've fallen by the wayside.
Look, he may have had the opportunity to commit these crimes, but frankly, nothing in his personality fits the signature. The entire presentation of both...
Let's talk about these clippings that we found at your place. You won't get off on everyone thinking about you? Wondering what you're like, what sort of person to do these sort of things?
I didn't kill those women. I never went anywhere near them.
Well, on both days in question, you were working within a 5-kilometre radius of where the bodies were found.
Trouble with Tom? He's a one-man band. He never breathed a word about this.
We'll help you, Mr. Lansdowne. If you tell us what you've done, we can help you.
No. No, you either charge me or you let me go. All right, I know my rights here. You mob got that? You either charge me or you let me go.
Sit down, please, Mr. Lansdowne.
Might be time for the old sugar and shit routine.
I'll ask you to bring this in for me. And I'm assisting the police with their investigation. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Can you tell me what the time is, please?
It's 3:15. Why is that important?
I'm supposed to be at work.
Here's the psychiatric profile.
Thanks. You seem to have had a preoccupation with wanting to dominate women in the past, Terry.
Not me.
Oh, with occasional feelings of sexual inadequacy.
Not me.
Tests that were done last time you were convicted suggested that you found the idea of inflicting harm interesting. You would go on the prowl, looking for a woman to exploit sexually.
Never to do with killing birds, all right? Never to do with that.
Why do you think anyone would want to kill a woman, Terry?
I don't know. Perhaps they'd be sick, eh?
Got a history of reading very violent pornography.
Well, it doesn't mean that I do anything, does it?
You told the doctor last time that before you raped someone...
I didn't do the last
Before you
time.
raped someone, you felt really on the edge, as if I could go ballistic. You still have those feelings?
No. I go to a group now. It's run by a shrink. Her name's Victoria Mason. I don't want to go back to jail.
So you try to stop yourself from acting on these urges? If
Every time a bad thought comes into my head, I cancel it. It's just like training a dog.
He's not the man that killed those 2 women, although he is useful
This
for
is
one
ridiculous.
thing. If only because he consolidates our profile and gives,
Your profile, mate. Your profile.
gives us a
right?
very
By the
clear
end of the...
indication of what our killer is not.
All right. We haven't got enough to charge you.
No, not yet.
Do you want me to try forensic again?
Look, the murders of Deborah and Mrs. John wouldn't be to his taste. Our offender wants to leave his victims looking as nice as possible. Now, Terry Lansdowne is impulsive, predatory and exploitative. For him, it's not about fantasy. It's about sex and power.
And what's his MO? Strangling women to unconsciousness while he rapes them.
And in case you haven't noticed, this man in there with his dirty nails and his dirty hair doesn't exactly slip into the category of charmer now, does he?
It's all been blown out of the water. Knife's right size, but the angle of serration is wrong. The Sanger test showed fish blood on the handle. Gold paint's a different manufacturer. Shoes right size, wrong shape.
Last thing before you go to bed at night, first thing in the morning.
That's him! No, please, leave me alone. Pissed off.
Okay. You're on.
Ah, look at these women, huh? Look at this picture. You know, I asked myself, how did my son ever manage to catch such a beautiful girl as Pauline?
And she's not even green.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We love you, darling.
You should see a specialist. Yeah.
Well, no. Nothing at all that I can detect. Could be an allergic reaction, of course.
Oh, I'm sorry to have wasted your time.
But then again, a lump in the throat, or the sensation of a lump in the throat, can be the manifestation of feelings we can't quite come to terms with. A concept you're familiar with, no doubt.
Here. That's our place there. I didn't know about this Chinese lady or the girl only when I went to the local police this morning.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Mr. Stroud thinks his wife may be missing.
12 days I've been away, fishing offshore. I just got back this morning.
Had Gillian taken anything with her?
The keys, her purse, that's all.
Neighbours notice anything?
Oh, well, you never see them. You never see anyone. Everyone's too flat out paying off their mortgages. Look, this is, that's about 5 years back. It doesn't look anything like her now. Her hair's different and she's dropped a bit of weight. It's the only one I could find, sorry.
This is not an easy question to ask, Mr. Stroud. But is it possible your wife may have left you?
Oh, no. We were very happy.
You said were. Why do you think you said that?
Because she didn't run away. I know that. Look, the budgie's lying dead in the bottom of the cage. She wouldn't have left the budgie. No. She loved the budgie.
Okay. We'll go house to house. Interview everyone who knew her.
This way, sir. Just through here.
Can I, get you anything? Coffee?
No, thanks.
You look really tired.
It hits me in the guts every time I have to do it. You know? I'm sitting in some strange living room and someone's asking me, why my wife? Why my son? These people, they're so cut up. You know, you wonder why they don't break up into little pieces in front of your eyes. You know, and they ask you, with these tears streaming down their faces and all this pain, you know, they ask you, who did this? Who could have done this terrible thing? Who?
Must be very hard.
No, what's very hard? What's very, very hard is that when we do find out who, people like you go to the parole board or to the court and you persuade some idiot judge that the mongrel's managed to rehabilitate himself and maybe he should be out in the sunshine. Or, you know, perhaps it would be best for the victim if she didn't take the stand. It's not going to happen again.
Okay. We now know that 12 days ago, our offender murdered Gillian Stroud. Probably his first victim. 6 days before Mrs. Chung, Deborah Bailey 2 days later. That's 12, 6 and 4. So, these murders are only feeding his fantasy life for a shorter and shorter time. Anything else from Mr. Stroud?
She was looking after that place for some friends of hers while they were in Queensland. Also, the husband went out of his tree about the lacy underwear she was wearing. This wasn't usual for her, but the friend was adamant that she wasn't having an affair.
Okay. Well, from a psychological perspective, the best thing I can offer is that this first murder didn't go according to plan. Now, there's the concentration of footprints. He tries to slash the ankles but can't, and he doesn't manage the gold. Plus, no one's found the body. All this would have played on his mind. So he returns to the scene with a woman's handbag to let us know that she's there. It's definitely not Gillian's bag, is it?
Not according to the husband.
No. Because her bag is much too precious a souvenir to give up. He's a bit like you, Tom. He's getting impatient, and he likes order. So, imagine if he did see Gillian's body again. He will have been very shocked. In case he didn't, you should play it up in the media that the body was badly decomposed. It might just cause him to slip up, shake him out of his complacency. Make a comment to someone which gives him away because he won't be able to get the sight or the thought of the decomposed Gillian Stroud out of his mind.
You've had a rough day. It's humiliating, I suppose. Boss giving you the ass, no reference. Now you're off the wagon, badly. Detox the nth time round, it's like nails tearing through your guts, so they say. That's only the half of it, eh? The other half's a family howling with grief because they've lost someone forever. If I told this family where you live, Terry, they'd be around before we could get to you. They're big blokes, probably start by cutting your balls off. The worst thing is you probably lie there and take it because you know it's the least you deserve.
You piss off, Hercus. Hey, I know my rights.
Mongrels like you don't have rights, mate, not you. Not someone who gets his rocks off when he's got a rope around a woman's neck. Only gets his jollies when she's stopped breathing. Only when he's made a mess of her. Hmm? You get a good look at her, Lansdowne? You should have.
Who?
Not for him, thanks, sweetheart. You know I need to have a chat. Besides, she's well above the limit. You're drunk. She wants you out of here. Let's go. Before things start getting nasty. Get the body.
Get stuffed, man. I can't.
What, like you can't steal some dead kid's sneakers? Hmm? Or you can't rat cash out of Deadman's pockets? Not to mention your lucrative trade in leather belts. One word from me and you're sunk, sunshine.
Oh, shit.
Piss off.
You can't do this to me. No. Oh, God, please, God, no.
Yeah, she looks pretty cook after 12 days, doesn't she? Not much glory in it now. Where'd you put the knife, Terry? That's all we need to know. Back she goes. It's up to you. You throw up and you clean it up.
You're gonna go down for this, Hercus.
Well, it's my word against yours in a court of law. Who do you reckon we're going to believe? Eh?
This in the river.
Which river?
What?
Where exactly were you when you tossed her in the river?
Wherever you want. Off the Sangay Bridge. I left her, she was still breathing. I thought she'd be all right. Maybe she hit her head or something.
What are you talking about?
When was this, Terry?
Yesterday morning. A schoolgirl.
How old was the girl, about?
16. 17.
Where was this exactly?
In a little river.
Then you disposed of the knife?
No.
Oh, come on, where did you dispose of the knife?
I didn't do those women.
Tell Detective Maganaris here what you told me, where you disposed of the knife.
I didn't do those women.
Where did you tell me you threw the knife? What bridge, Mr. Lansdowne? I'm asking you, what bridge?
I told you, the Sangay Bridge.
Interview suspended at 7:40 a.m. for purposes of further investigation. Do you understand?
Yes.
You play silly buggers, Terry. I get more determined. Let him stew for a while. I'll get on to the divers.
Yesterday's assault has been confirmed at 0700 hours.
What was she doing in the bush at that hour?
Shortcut after netball training. She's in a stable condition. There was assault, but no penetration. They're sending through a copy of a statement.
MO?
Not consistent with our killer.
The Lone Ranger. This Lansdowne interrogation better be taking us somewhere.
It is. Gillian Stroud, Nancy Chung, Deborah Bailey. This is who we're talking about now. You with us, Mr. Lansdowne? Now, I could ask you what it was about these three women that you fancied.
Nothing.
Let's start with Gillian Stroud. How did you end up at that place? Well, did you follow her out there, or was it smarter than that? Or maybe she led you on. Was that it? And she promises she'll give it to you, and then she doesn't deliver.
I've never seen her before.
He's still the same man. He's not our killer.
Well, I put it to you, Mr. Lansdowne, that you raped and killed this woman. What do you say to that?
Never seen her before.
Well, you must have seen her, Mr. Lansdowne. You can't do this sort of thing with your eyes closed.
Shit. Christ. Look, I did that girl yesterday. All right? I admit to that. Okay, you can charge me with that one.
Mr. Lansdowne indicates that he requires a toilet break. Well, if you want to go, you'll have to say it out loud.
I need to go to the toilet.
That interview interrupted at 8:51 a.m. Where do you think you're going? What you need to know, Terry, is that you will go down.
Yes, but not for this.
I mean, just for starters. Your ex-boss will testify that you were in the area on each of the days in question. Your alibi is caved in, and any minute now, some poor fresh-faced bastard from the water police is going to be risking mercury poisoning to retrieve that knife you used to cut these women up.
No, he's loading me up, you arsehole! A girl in the country, okay.
Mate, you cooperate here and start telling the truth, and you'll be looking at one of those nice, cushy private prisons with everything laid on. But if you string us along, then I'll make it my personal quest to make sure you're back sharing a cell with Frankie Henderson.
No.
You'll enjoy that. As long as you lie still, take it like a man.
This is outright intimidation. I'm going to be making notes of this interview if I'm questioned by the defence.
Jane?
No! The man in there is not controlled, nor is he ordered. Neither the planning or the execution of these murders are within his capabilities. He's a slob, for God's sake. Or as we say in the trade, anal expulsive. I'll leave you to guess which one I mean.
Jane, you are overreacting. We haven't even charged him. Look, we're all a little tired, stressed. Can't you just overlook...
No. I know what I saw.
Beautiful, sweet. Smile.
Oh,
Gorgeous smile. Now, Pauline, one for the records.
Oh, I've got to break the camera.
And look to the side. Now, turn this way. And look there. Lovely.
Okay, come on, one of us, all of us together.
No, just you three, the family. Everyone smile.
Now, Jane's turn. We haven't got one of her dress yet. One of Jane by herself.
Lovely.
It was a secret, but she always had these dreams of being a model. You know, every year with the dolly contest, she'd say, oh well, next year maybe.
Did she ever have any photos done?
No. But once she got down to a goal weight, she was going to go to one of those makeover places, you know, to see how good a proper photographer could make her look. But they were really expensive. Don't say anything to Dad, okay?
If you want to talk to a member of this family, you talk to me.
I'm not with the police anymore, Mr. Bailey. I just dropped by to see how you're getting along.
How we're getting along? How we're getting along? Like our insides have been torn out. That's how we're getting along.
At least they've got him, hey, Dad?
I know what you were all thinking. Not Tom Hercos, I give him credit, but the rest of you?
Mr. Bailey.
Dad.
You should know this, Mandy. For some of the cops, I was top of the list, wasn't I? And if you hadn't caught this mongrel, you'd probably still be thinking it.
I'm sure it hurt you deeply, Mr. Bailey. But the police have got to follow up every line of investigation. Thanks for your time, Mandy.
Why'd he pick her? Has he said?
I'm sorry?
Has he said why he picked Deb? Why her out of all?
What happened, Dad?
I don't know the answer to that, Mr. Bailey. Jim, are you there?
That's better. Go on, Jane.
What if the women went with their killer because they were paying to have their photographs taken?
Snaps.
No, glamour portraits.
Jane.
Jim, just listen for a second. Now, Mrs. Chung and Gillian Stroud both had absent husbands. Now, Deborah Bailey was getting to her ideal weight and she wanted to celebrate herself. The women do all they can to look their best, and that's exactly how he wants them to look in death.
Jane.
Now, Jim...
Jane, the water police have found a knife exactly where he said. Forensic are very, very confident of a match. You still there, Jane?
Yeah, I am. Sorry to have wasted your time.
Well, he's been charged and remanded in custody. He's not going to be released. I hope to God he suffers. Well, we've got a very solid case against him, and we'll be building on it every day. And you can be sure that he's going to be locked up until he dies.
It's not going to bring her back, though, is it?
The important thing is that no other woman will suffer the same fate as your daughter.
Shit, he stopped himself.
Tom?
He may have killed himself, but for me, this case is still wide open.
Give Deepens some credit, Jane. You'll get a hearing. We just have to wait till the smoke clears.
The sisterhood strikes again.
Take it easy, Tom.
Well, I have to take it easy now, mate. I'm suspended. I've solved the case. Deepens can bring in all the shrinks and psychics he likes. It's not going to change anything. Lansdowne's as guilty as sin.
You don't know that. And even if he was, he didn't deserve to be driven to suicide.
He was scum. He did the world a favour.
So it doesn't matter if you bend the rules, the means justify the end.
Look, it's nothing personal. I just can't stand shrinks who think they're detectives.
And detectives who think they're God?
A moment, please, Doctor. For the last few days, there's been something very strong coming through. Very dangerous. There'll be another death. Soon. For the last few days, they've been telling me that you should take great care.
Well, thank you for your concern, Mr. Washburn. Now, if you've finished...
I see blood, Dr. Halifax, and it's on you. This is a deadly dance that's taking place. Great care, Dr. Halifax. Take great care.
These are all the photographers within a 10-mile radius. We haven't spoken to every one of them, but we've spoken to all the ones that do makeovers. And none of them comes even close to the profile. Apart from one cannabis charge 8 years back, the rest of them are clean skins. Plus, all of this work's really done in studios, makeup artists, the whole bit. They don't make house calls.
Okay, how about evening classes or technical colleges? Well, he isn't necessarily a professional.
It'll take weeks. I can't justify the manpower. I've just suspended a senior detective. I've got half the rest of my crew working on his evidence.
Did any of them seem pleased or flattered to be interviewed? Or say that they knew any of the victims?
One guy, Samuel, said he used to live near Mrs. Chung. The one I said had his portfolio stolen.
Of makeover photographs?
What sort of person steals a portfolio?
He came in off the street, grabbed it and ran. The lot. Probably a jealous husband.
So, could you describe this man?
Well, I couldn't. I wasn't here. It was reported to the police, though, which means nothing happened.
Well, who did see him?
Ian saw him. He chased after them and gave them a perfect description.
Who's Ian?
Ian minds the shop for me on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons when I teach at the TAFE.
We asked you if you had an assistant. You said no.
Yeah, well, he's a stacker at the supermarket. There's a bit of extra cash under the counter. A very hard worker. I wouldn't want any trouble for him.
Went up from the tax department, Mr. Samuels.
Ian Turner. He'll be here at 2 o'clock.
Excuse me. Like some water?
Thanks.
Can't have you carking it in the mall, can we?
Is that him?
Mm-hmm. Now, Sylvie, you're not a cop. Your boyfriend's away and you want to get some glamour shots done.
Got it. I'll see you back at the car.
Okay.
To tell you the truth, I'm going to have to think about this $500. I didn't think it'd be so much.
How good are you at keeping a secret?
A secret?
This is all my work. I charge only $200. And I spend more time at your house, where it's more relaxed. Come on, have a look. And I have a special ingredient. You want me to tell you what it is?
Sure.
Have you told your boyfriend you have any of these done?
No, it's a surprise.
I want you to keep it that way, until you're happy with the results. It works like a charm. I tell all my ladies, keep it all a surprise. Takes the pressure off on the day. And on top of that, if you're not happy, I won't charge you. What have you got to lose?
It's his birthday next week.
Monday's a public holiday. I'm free all day. You?
Actually, my boyfriend is my boyfriend is jealous.
No. My boyfriend likes to have me for himself. Now, you want a photo where you appear attractive but not seductive. Be vulnerable. Oh, and your last boyfriend dumped you. It's okay. We'll talk through it again on the way out there. How are you feeling?
Nervous. But don't tell the guys. Reckon we'll be back in time for the wedding?
Oh, yeah. I've spoken to Pauline. She knows what's going on. Okay. I know the man, Sylvie. I'm there for you the minute anything goes wrong, okay?
Lovely spot.
We've just moved in.
Okay. And head up a little. And just to one side. A little more. Good. A bit more. Chin down. As if you've got a secret. What did you tell your boyfriend you're doing this afternoon?
He's away until tonight.
More powder. Starting to give me a bit of a glow.
Keep talking, Sylvie.
No, she's doing well. Just letting him think he's in control.
Considering the distance, he pretty much is.
It's better?
Why are you doing that?
I might need to give you a bit more room. You're inclined to pull a bit of a face. We want to catch you unawares, trick you into looking relaxed. Perhaps you should tell me about your boyfriend.
Well, he's a bit older than me.
I hope he knows what a lucky man he is. Head up.
I'm not sure that he does.
Good girl.
A little lean. Other way. But you saying he doesn't deserve you, is that what you're saying?
To tell the truth, that's what some of my friends say.
No, Sylvie.
You should be telling me how much you love him.
Oh, I do. Of course, I do.
Straight down the lens.
What are you doing?
Just changing the filter. You just try to relax.
What the bloody hell's that?
It could be his equipment. The flash or maybe cables.
Taxi. Piss him off quick, smart.
I still can't hear her.
Oh, don't worry too much. I'm just glad I haven't broken the camera.
You think you're too good for him? Is that what you think?
No. I don't understand.
It's not working.
You mean me?
Doesn't matter. It's best just to stop. I'll send you what's on this roll, and if there's anything you like, no charge, okay?
Oh, not really. Here, I'll help you.
Where's the other bit of tape?
I'll put it in the bin.
No, I'll take it. I'm sorry, sometimes things just don't work out, okay? I'm a perfectionist. I like to get things just right.
The literature is full of cases where a serial murderer decides to let a potential victim go.
Jane, you're going to have to do a lot better than that.
It's classic inadequate personality stuff. Blaming Sylvie. Twisting the situation to establish his power, leading her along, and then probably enjoying her disappointment.
As far as I'm concerned, Lansdowne's looking pretty good for this. Now, you said yourself our man was killing with greater frequency. There hasn't been a single death since Lansdowne's
Well, can you at
arrest.
least assure me that you're...
Jane, I don't have to assure you of anything. With all due respect, you were hired by us, not the other way around, and we can't afford another stuff-up. Now, do yourself a favour. Forget about it. Get some perspective. Go and enjoy this wedding.
Στέφεται ο δούλος του Θεού Κωνσταντίνος την δούλην του Θεού Πολύν, εις το όνομα του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος. Αμήν. Στέφεται η δούλη του Θεού Πολύν των δούλων του Θεού Κωνσταντίνων, εις το όνομα του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος. Αμήν. Κύριε ο Θεός ημών, δόξη και τιμή.
hard can you squeeze my hand?
What?
Squeeze my hand. No, harder.
What? You crazy? Crazy bitch. Malakas menace.
Oh, no, John.
What is wrong with you? Okay, Stan's no hunk, but you knew that. And he's really, really hurt.
Sorry.
I'm not sorry. This whole thing for you has been a big yawn right from the start. You know, for your information, I happen to love Con's family. You know, and I'm not Greek. They could have made my life a misery, but they have embraced me as one of their own. And even if they didn't when we were just living together, I don't care. I love my instant family. At the very, very least, you could act as if you're happy for me.
Do you want to know how I'm really feeling? The truth is, I've never felt so alone in all my life. If you were to accuse me of being jealous of all the warmth, the joy, the lot, then you'd probably be pretty close to the mark.
Jane, no.
Excuse us. Photos.
Hang on a sec, Shaz, all right?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine, really. I'm fine. Go. Enjoy yourself. Okay.
Jim?
Wait.
What's that?
I want you to dance with me. Come on. I know I'm right. Here. Right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You've been drinking.
Look. That's why he moved the furniture aside. It's what he meant to Sylvie about his way of loosening her up.
There are other ways.
Not if it's the core of your fantasy. Now, it's either someone in his past who danced, a recent girlfriend or a wife. Well, look, the swirl of footprints, the bruised ring fingers, the gold paint, the high heels, it all makes sense. He's got to be a dancer.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Very good. Ian.
Yes, Helen.
Jane is joining us for the first time this evening. Now, Ian hasn't been in quite a few weeks, so just forgive him, he's a little bit rusty. Okay. Now, from the top, everyone, please.
Like one of these?
Oh, circle.
Thanks.
Partners. Ready.
Just to be sociable.
1, 2, and
I know you.
slow.
Last week in the mall, you know that.
Yes. I remember wondering if you were a model or something. Is it all cleared up now?
Slow.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful work. And slow, slow. Quick, quick, slow. Slow.
But I know why you like coming here.
Quick,
Why is that?
slow.
Well, the order. Huh? 1, 2, the order of it all. I mean, there's sort of a security in it, isn't there? And knowing what every last sort of step and turn and oh, sorry.
If you muck it up, you know soon enough.
Imagine that's the appeal for you, Ian.
Quick,
Oh, that
slow,
sense of
and
control.
Walk. Walk.
Actually, I know more about you than you realise.
Lovely. Thank you all very much.
You get frightened, don't you?
The foxtrot? I don't think so.
No, not here. But when it all gets sort of out of control, must be pretty frightening.
Okay, now if we can all walk it through, please. From the top. And...
I mean, people talk about overcoming fear, but not everyone can do that, you know? It's overwhelming. As if you can stop memories flooding in. I mean, how can you?
Sloppy feet, Ian. Off the heels, please. That's very good.
I mean, to look at you, I mean, who'd know how you're feeling underneath?
Remember your posture, please. Back straight.
She was stringing you along, wasn't she? Telling you she'd be there for you. And suddenly lets you down. 1 minute safe, 1 minute abandoned. Women can be so irresponsible sometimes. They couldn't care less about another living human being, much less a little boy. Do you notice my gold shoes? I wore them for you. Isn't that what she wore? Or is that what Helen wears?
Shut up. Be quiet.
Was it your mother you wanted to keep nice, Ian? Just the way you remembered? Ian, you're hurting me.
Shut up.
I refuse to leave you. I'm clinging on like grim death, just like she should have done.
I said, shut up.
Did you want them to fall in love with you? They didn't, did they? And that part of you had to do the other things. You don't feel very good about that, do you?
I said, shut up.
If someone wanted to keep those women looking beautiful, you haven't done a very good job. And you saw Gillian's body again. All that flesh falling off her face, that couldn't have been very nice at all. Still, they won't get away, will they?
Shut up! Shut up!
Ian Turner, I'm Senior Detective Constable Manganaris. I'm placing you under arrest. And you will be charged with the murders of Deborah Bailey, Julian Stroud, and Mrs. Nancy Shum.
Look, there's obviously been some sort of misunderstanding, but, if there's anything I can do to help, I'd be more than happy.
He knows what he's doing, all right. He's trying to run us ragged.
Let me try another tack. I'll grab some files, even if they're blank. And what are you doing here?
You must be feeling pretty bloody pleased with yourself. You haven't got a confession, though. Word is he's a long way from spilling his guts.
Oh, what do you suggest? We massage his head with a telephone directory?
What the hell are you doing here?
Cheer squad. Can I have a word?
My office.
You were spot on, weren't you?
Yeah, well, sometimes being right isn't enough. And, one of these... Ah, here it is. It's a profile I wrote very early on. It really does fit you down to a T.
What sort of things?
Oh, not the ballroom dancing. I have to say I missed that. But then again, you only took it up because of Helen, am I right? And then, of course, you found out she was sleeping with...
He's got nothing to do with this.
Was it your mother who walked out, Ian? Did you have to go and live with relatives? I mean, I'm only guessing here. It'd be much better if you helped me.
It was my sister. You keep going on about my bloody mother. It's my sister, right? Okay?
Okay. So why don't you tell me about your sister? How much longer can we keep him for?
About an hour. Sylvie, get me Tom Hercos on the phone, will you?
Thought I might tell you a bit about my work.
I don't suppose I have much choice.
You know, I spend a lot of time in court. And one of the things I notice is that when people go in front of a judge, no one ever hears about the good things those people have done. The small kindnesses they've shown their victims. I mean, you calling Deborah's family, for instance. I don't think people will understand. I mean, I think it was to genuinely reassure them that you tried to make her look as beautiful as you could. I mean, even the cuts to the heels weren't meant to be a cruel gesture, were they? You just didn't want anyone else to leave you.
I know that you're trying to trick me.
But were you aware of how much you upset Deborah's sister? And every time you hung up, you probably wished you hadn't made the call. The papers were saying you were a monster for those calls. And you know about sisters and their love. You obviously loved your sister very much. She probably wanted to stay with you, too. But then she goes and marries someone who didn't deserve her. You saw your beautiful sister treated badly. And then at home, they began to treat you badly, and that was worse. She'd abandoned you.
Excuse me, Dr. Halifax. We'd like to take Mr. Turner out for a short toilet break.
I really have no idea what you're saying.
I want to know why you kept telling me my sister was alive. Why you kept ringing me up to tell me that.
You've got that wrong.
You kept telling me that she was safe, that she was alive, and you promised to look after her. She's the only sister that I'll ever have.
No, you've got that wrong. No one ever said that to you. You've all got it wrong. The thing is, she'll never be hurt again.
That's his voice. Know it anywhere.
Take him back. Well, that was a bit unusual. They offered to come in. What did you observe just now, do you think?
I saw the suspect being taken for a break. And it was a total coincidence that the Baileys happened to encounter him.
You might have to repeat that under oath.
I know that, Mr. Hercos.
She laughed then, about here, and, like I said, I strangled her and put her in the chair, which was here.
Now we'll get you to show us your movements after you committed the crime.
I came out, and there was no one around. I knew there wouldn't be, not at that time of day.
Where did you park the car?
Oh, sorry, the bottom of the cul-de-sac.
Louder. For the camera, please.
Sorry. I parked the car at the bottom of the cul-de-sac.
Now we'll ask you to take us to where you hid the items you used in the murder of Mrs. Chung.
This way.
What the hell's he doing here?
No! No!
No!
Hold your fire! Don't shoot! Kill me. I want someone to kill me. I want one of you bastards to kill me. Come on. What else are you meant to do? How else are you meant to keep them safe? That's all I wanted to do. Keep my family safe. Keep my little girl safe.